All right, so this is our study guide. It's just 20 questions, which is not a lot, but it does try to cover all of the different topics that you're going to see on the test that we will do Friday. So we look at our first question. And Shayla, it says, what's most responsible? I don't like yellow. Let me get a different color. What's most responsible for guiding the movement of different air masses across the United States? Immediately, my gut says I want prevailing westerlies. Oceans, trade winds, jet stream, easterly winds. No prevailing westerlies. So there has to be another answer that is good. Well, it's certainly not the oceans that guide air across the United States. So I hope you are using your test-taking strategies and eliminating answers that just don't make any sense whatsoever. If you remember back to when we studied the global winds, the trade winds actually blow from the east to the west. And we all know that's not how weather moves across the United States, because the prevailing westerlies move it from west to east, so it can't be the trade winds. Have we ever said anything about the jet stream being able to move weather across the United States? Yes, it can actually deflect some of the weather. It's a big, giant river of wind. Of course it can. Easterly winds, are you talking the polar easterlies? That's not, even if it is, it's not going to move weather across the United States. The answer is the jet stream. Did anybody struggle with that? I didn't think that was a very difficult question. Sure, I'm going to have to delete this stuff here in a second. I am. That's fine. Clear the annotations. Number 2. Again, when you see this word here, Cameron, what does that typically mean in ELA and in science? What best describes? What does that mean? Sort of, Shayla. It is, but when it says what best describes, they're probably going to put more than one decent answer in there. So what best describes how changes in air pressure can affect the development of a hurricane. And we studied how hurricanes develop. Cooling ocean water causes air pressure to drop. Is that the words that we mentioned with the formation of a hurricane? What did we say, Orphelia, that hurricanes need to form? So it's not A, it's not B. Even if you don't know the answer, you've eliminated it to a 50-50 shot. Warming ocean water causes air pressure to rise. This causes light winds and sleet to develop, which may become a hurricane. If you read all of that and circled C, we have a problem. Warming ocean water causes air pressure to drop. This causes high winds and thunderstorms to develop, which may become a hurricane. And that is the exact process we described in class about how hurricanes form. Number 1, easy. Number 2, easy. What conditions will result in high winds? Large differences in air pressure, heavy rains over several days, increase in evaporation, or the presence of cirrus clouds. It's not, we said it can mean that there might be wind, because we know that a change is coming, but that's not the answer. I would have mentioned that with the notes of cirrus clouds. Maddox, what's our best answer in there? A, if you have high pressure and low pressure, air is going to move in that direction from high pressure to low pressure. The higher the pressure difference, the faster the wind is going to blow. Any issues with 1, 2, 3? Nope. Yes, ma'am. Heavy rains over several days does not necessarily mean it's going to be high winds. Differences in air pressure is the reason why you have high winds. All right. Holy cow, I certainly hope no one missed this, seeing that you live here. Glenn, if I lived in Nevada and I missed this question, it would be remotely acceptable. You live here. What statement is accurate about the seasonal temperatures in North Carolina? A, the temperatures are varied, which means different, during each of the seasons. I'm digging that one. The average temperature stays close to 60 most seasons. That's certainly not true in August. It's certainly not true in January. It is difficult to notice the change. Wouldn't that be the exact same thing as B? If it was 60 degrees all year long, you wouldn't really notice any changes between the seasons. Mackie. It is difficult to predict what the temperatures will be during each season. Now, if that said day to day, I might allow you to circle D because we have some crazy weather here. But no. Is it hot in the summer? Cold in the winter? Mild in the spring and fall? The best answer is A. Did anybody miss that? Be honest. If you did, it's okay, but work your way through these. Will there be water cycle questions on the test? Yes. What part of the water cycle is occurring when warm, moist air cools and, if you missed this, whoa boy, begins forming clouds? Cloud formation is? And it doesn't sound like anybody in here missed that. Transpiration is when plants sweat. Precipitation is rain, sleet, snow, and hail. Evaporation is when the puddle turns from liquid to gas. None of that is overly difficult in my opinion. But again, now is the time to ask questions. Do you think we're going to see questions about high pressure and low pressure? The answer is yes. How do I know that? I make the test. Low pressure systems moving along the East Coast during winter months will have what effect? Will low pressure systems, Collins, give me low temperatures and clear skies? That's a high pressure system, isn't it? Clear, cool, and sunny. Calm winds and heavy precipitation. The best answer so far, maybe. Increased wind and clear skies. Increased wind and heavy precipitation is your best answer. I just wanted to make sure that there was something about precipitation in my answer. So I didn't get rid of B, but once I read D, I'm like, oh, that's most definitely the answer. It is not calm winds. When you have low pressure systems move in, that means that there's another high pressure system somewhere else, and you have differences in air pressure, and we just said when you have differences in air pressure, you have wind. What will be the effect of a warm front? Who thinks they're going to see warm front, cold front, stationary front? You would be correct. What would be the effect of a warm front moving through the area? Amanda, will a warm front be light precipitation as the front arrives and remain after the front is gone? Does the rain stay there when the front is gone? No. Light precipitation will begin as the front arrives and clear after the front is gone. Maybe, I like that. Skies will clear as clouds are moved by the front and grow cloudy after the front is gone. Skies will clear as clouds are moved by the front and remain clear after the front. Is that the exact same answer? Oh no, it's remaining clear and growing cloudy. Your best answer on that one is B. All our fronts have precipitation. You just have to remember the difference in them. Cold front, cumulonimbus storms. Warm front, moves slow, light rain. Stationary front stays there for a while. Medium precipitation. Moving on. Who thinks they might see something about clouds during the day or clouds during the night? You would be correct. What effect does cloud cover have on daytime temperatures, Maddox? Does it decrease temperatures? If you are at the beach during the day and it is cloudy, it is, not as hot as usual. It's not, because the sun's radiation and heat is not allowed to reach the earth. It's absorbed and reflected by the clouds before it gets to us. That's a good answer. Cloud cover increases temperatures. That's at night. Cloud cover causes temperatures to change rapidly. Cloud cover causes temperatures to rise and fall constantly. That would be a miserable day. It's hot, it's cold. It's cold, it's hot. What weather pattern most influences the weather in North Carolina? Holy cow, if you missed this one, because we've only said it about as many times as we said estuary and brackish water. Nolan. Polar easterlies, tropical westerlies, or prevailing westerlies. Which one of those affects North Carolina? D, the prevailing westerlies. Boys and girls, that is either one that you know because you've heard it a million times, or you haven't been paying attention and you have no earthly clue, and I can't help that. Question 10. What type of cloud is associated with thunderstorms? Judah. Cumulonimbus. Cirrus clouds, light and wispy, look like feathers. Stratus clouds cover the sky like a blanket. Cumulus clouds are the big puppy white clouds on fair weather. Cumulonimbus clouds are going to be the thunderstorm clouds. What do nimbostratus clouds most often produce? Landon. Rain. A stratus cloud close to the ground, yes, is fog, but that's not what nimbostratus clouds are. Hail comes from which cloud? Cumulonimbus, the storm cloud. And wind doesn't make any sense because clouds don't make wind. Differences in air pressure makes wind. I'm not even going to bother annotating on this one. One of those words we've never even talked about, the psychrometer. You know that's not the answer. Holy cow, you better know what a thermometer measures. Temperature. So you're down to barometer and anemometer, Gunner. Which one measures air pressure? An anemometer measures wind speed. Wind speed. All right. Moving on. We're like halfway through the study guide, and I don't see anything that's overly hard yet. Throughout the year, there's usually some wind blowing at the beach during the day and the night. We know those as sea breeze and land breeze. What is the cause of these winds? Nolan, is it air flowing down the mountains to the ocean? What a ridiculous answer. Differences in humidity over the land and ocean. Differences in temperature of the land and the ocean, and air flowing from upper parts of the atmosphere. That's part of it, but that's not the entire answer. Your best answer is C. You cannot, you are not allowed to miss this. Hayden, what is the primary cause of wind? I am telling you right now, you can sit there and smile and pat yourself on the back on the EOG when you see that question. It will be there, and you can go, I got that right, and move on, because that is an easy question. Don't even bother. Uneven heating of the Earth's surface. Rocking on and moving on, because that is not a difficult question at all. What type of cloud is most often seen during fair weather, Sadie? Cirrus clouds. Stratus clouds cover the sky. That's not fair weather. Cumulonimbus is a storm cloud. What kind of weather change will occur with an increase in air pressure? An increase in air pressure, Jesse. Will it be warmer and moister? That's a low pressure. Hotter and stormier? Low pressure. Colder and rainier? Cooler and drier? Clear, cool, dry is your high pressure. And most of us yesterday that had that when we were working on our project in the back got that correct. What most affects the temperature of an area? I think there's a couple that we can get rid of. Does vegetation, plant life? What about the amount of rain? It rains a whole bunch in Oregon and it's cool. It rains a whole bunch in the tropical rainforest and it's hot. Does precipitation have anything to do with the temperature of an area? Is it humidity or latitude? Why is it latitude? Jesse. Equator is a line of latitude. The closer I get to the equator, the warmer it gets. The further away I get from the equator, the colder it gets. We may make it through. We may end up pausing. I don't know. What affects the coast of North Carolina, causing it to receive less snow than the rest of the state? Nolan. Why is it the Gulf Stream? It's warm water that goes across the coast. The jet stream is a river of wind. El Nino and La Nina have different effects. It is not causing it to receive less snow. Clear that. I think this is the one you were questioning, right? Yeah. A cold front has just reached the area that is marked with a star. That is here. What numbered point will the cold front most likely reach next? Now, I know you're saying, Mr. Mullins, I don't see the triangles. How do I know which